So I'm not going to subject you to my horrible singing voice, but just know that I could belt out a whole new world right now, and I would get every lyric correct, even though it would be terribly off key. But enough about me. Let's talk about why you should never, 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 ever use Disney song lyrics in your book. Hi, I'm MK Williams. I'm an author and independent publisher. I love sharing my knowledge on all things about self-publishing with you. Before I get started into today's topic, please be sure to hit subscribe. That means that you'll be here every week when I release new videos on all things self-publishing and how to make a career out of being an author. So this seems like a super niche topic for a video, right? Then you might not have talked with any author ever. So in my time helping authors self-publish their books, I've come across more than my share of authors who have full song lyrics in their books as epitaphs at the beginning of chapters, as parts of flashbacks in a memoir, as a comedic aside in a dense chapter on a nonfiction topic. So not all of these lyrics have been related to Disney, but a lot of them have. So let's dive into both elements of this and talk about potential solutions. So the first side of it is just song lyrics in books or further creative works. So there are a lot of articles out there on how you can legally incorporate song lyrics into your book. If the copyright of the song lyrics has expired, then you're in the clear. If you want to use lyrics from Taylor Swift's latest hit, then you're going to have to make a formal request to her, as she owns the rights to all of her songs on her latest album, and likely pay to use those lyrics. So effectively, when you use song lyrics in your book, it's the same as me playing that song in the background of this video. I would need to license that use and pay the copyright owner for that use. So let's say that you decide that you really need these lyrics in your book, and you would be willing to pay for the licensing. Okay, you have to request permission from the rights holder. If you don't ever hear back, guess what? You can't use it. In general, I say to avoid song lyrics altogether. First, you're an author, get creative with your own words. Second, the lyrics are copyright protected, but the song title isn't. You can say, this character was driving along listening to X title by this artist and it made them think of, boom, problem solved. This also applies to poems. Now you can quote a line or two from a poem so the reader can get the gist, but just not the entire thing. So poems are their own separate thing, but song lyrics seem to be the biggest problem that I find that a lot of people have. They really want to quote song lyrics, they want to put them in. Just don't do it. I have several references below where you can read up on people who are much smarter than me as to all the legal reasons why, but effectively you would be taking that song and like playing it in your book. So you have to license it. All right, now let's get to the Disney side of this equation. So not just song lyrics, but Disney song lyrics. So look, I love Disney. I can probably sing every word to The Little Mermaid, the entire movie right now with no prep because I watch it so much as a child, but I won't because I don't want Disney to ask to take this video down. So Disney is one of, if not the largest IP holders in the world. They have to protect their IP against all potential claims. So effectively, if Disney said, okay, we won't tell this one person to cease and desist, even if they did that for just one unauthorized use on their IP, that any future claims could be thrown out. So that means that when your adorable 5-year-old sings Let It Go from Frozen and you post it online and Disney tells you to take it down, they aren't being evil or mean. They're making sure that if Universal or some other major movie producer tries to do the same thing, that they have a leg to stand on. It's the same reason why Stephen King has his dollar babies. He is clearly happy to let indie filmmakers use his large library of work for their independent films, so he wants to give them a way to pay for the IP so he's covered when he needs to go after someone for infringement. That's in general why somebody like Disney, who's this monolith, like you really don't want to use their stuff specifically because they have an entire fleet of lawyers and IP staff who are looking for these things so they can fight it. Now, not that you should go after somebody who doesn't have that and try to use their work unlawfully because it's wrong to use things unlawfully, but that's definitely something behind it where like Disney will notice. They will say something, you will get a cease and desist, you will have to make changes. It's so much easier on the front end to just not even go near that, not even put yourself to that exposure. Now, there is a distinction. The phrase let it go has been around much longer than the hit song. So your character can say to another, dude, be like Elsa, just let it go. No problem, right? Everybody gets the reference. Your character may be marooned in Antarctica and say, well, cold never bothered me anyway. And if you're not referencing Frozen, that's fine. But you really shouldn't have that character singing as they search for supplies about frozen fractals all around. Like, that is not a common phrase at all. So if it's a common phrase, it can still be used, but be realistic about what that common phrase is and if it's really common. So when you're working on your book and you have the perfect Disney song lyrics and you absolutely have to have them, I want you to stop and think about a few things. So 1, how long will it take for you to make a formal request to use them and your likelihood of hearing back on the approval? 2, what can you budget to pay to license this song in your book? You have all these other things to pay for. You have design, you have editing, everything else. How much are you willing to budget to pay for the song lyrics? 3, are you able to budget for a lawyer? Because chances are you're going to need a lawyer to make this petition and obviously handle any claims that may come up. So, all right, we're going to look into those 3 factors. I want you to really think about it and then answer me this. Just how important are those song lyrics to the central thesis of your book? That's what I thought. It's not worth the trouble and the effort. You can find more creative ways to put things in. So I hope you found this information helpful, and I'm sorry if I burst your bubble on not being able to use Disney lyrics in your book or your other creative work. It's really going to save you a headache on your end. If you found this information helpful, please give it a thumbs up and leave your questions in the comments. I always love hearing from you. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. That means that you'll be here when I release new videos, and it lets YouTube know that you're getting value from the content I'm providing, and it helps them get it in front of other authors like us. And now you can get back to writing your book.